asking years back, like, a couple of years back, when we had students, international students, where they passed and whatnot, they do tell us that it's totally different. The way, the environment, okay, in terms of food, in terms of the culture. Okay, all right. Who stopped the recording? Recording has started. Okay, let them have their own conversation there. But I hope they are with us. All right. So we do have this difference in culture, difference in context, and whatnot. So it matters. All right, and it takes time for us to actually get used to it. All right. So talking about this module. Okay, children, I'm so sorry. You can't see me. Can you see me? All right, good. Okay, I'm just going to stand here. Yeah. Now, I usually prefer to walk around a bit because if not, I feel like a statue standing here and not comfortable to talk actually. I feel like singing this national anthem. All right? So, but I have to consider these kids over here as well. So, all right, a little bit. Now, I feel like a celebrity. Now, uh, by any chance, you know what's my name? No idea. Okay. Anyone? You know what's my name? Thank you so much. At least someone made the effort to check immediately. Alright? So my name is Jahan, Nur Jahan. I'm from School of Foundation. So you can call me Miss Jahan. Now, okay, thank you, Shahmi. Shahmi. Alright, Shahmi, thank you so much. Now, talking about me, for this whole semester, I am basically going to conduct this module called Communication Skills with you. All right? Now, we are going to sail through for about 12 weeks. And of course, there are multiple assessments and whatnot. We are going to go through that. But before that, I need to know what is your understanding about this module? I know I'm asking this question even before we get into the module, but just to know what is your ideology, what is your understanding when you hear the word communication skill? And people scream a bit, yeah? Because with the mask, I know it's a bit difficult, all right? I don't speak. Yeah? Scream louder. All right. Any idea what is communication skill? What is this module all about? Yes, please. I mean, I don't mind walking close to you if you want to use the mic. Hmm. Anyone? What is this module? The ones there? Tell me, please, what is your understanding about this module? Talking. So throughout this 12 weeks, we're going to talk, right? And then understand people. You know, one thing I don't like about this because this notification thing, I don't know how to turn it off. All right, how to speak with other people, how to effectively speak smoothly and avoid misunderstandings. What else? What is your definition? What is your understanding? Or rather, can I put it this way? What is your expectation? What do you expect from this module? Don't tell me this expectation is not good. So we are not putting any expectation. We don't want to get disappointed. Let's talk about expectation. And what do you expect to learn from this module? Now, people, I'm meeting human after 1 year. So please behave like one. Perfect? Uh, when I came last week, my human resource manager told me, it's nice to see some souls here. All right? So I feel the same now. Do talk, do talk. What is your expectation? All right. My guy is expectation. To gain the ability to talk without breaking down, express our feelings through words. Shahmiya, that's what I'm trying to do here. I'm trying not to break down because I'm not getting any answer from here. Okay? And these kids are just staring at me. Okay? Alright. Now, what is your understanding about communication? Just basics. What is your understanding about communication? To let others understand you, understand us, the communicators, alright? Public speaking, alright? What else? Yes, please. Wait, let me do a bit of exercise. Because I'm not able to hear and I think not fair for the rest as well. Yes, please.
about passing on information and also expressing your emotional feelings.
So it's about passing information and also express about emotional feelings. So it's about the content and the emotions as well. That's communication. Anyone else? Since I have stepped up here. Anyone else? What is communication to you? There is no marks for this. People, come on. Communication. Anyone would like to try?
Can I say that it's more easy to let people more easy to understand what you're talking about?
Communication is basically to make people easy to understand you. That's communication. All right. It's a way of doing it. It's a way of communication. What else? Anyone else would like to try? You want to try?
Exchanging information and how you present it.
Exchanging information, how you present it. You want to try?
As information by writing, speaking, something.
Where did you learn that? Go by book. All right, now. Okay, let's entertain them a bit. Conveying of messages by exchanging thoughts, how to express thoughts in a pleasant way. It's about learning effective communication that will help us in formal setups as well as in informal ones. Communication is an interaction with others. That's a very long one, yeah? Sardar, thank you. The imparting of information by speaking, writing, or using some other medium. All right, good. So these are basically communication. All right, the definition or by book or by understanding what is communication all about. Now, people, I'm sorry, I have a bit of issue breathing when I wear the mask. All right, so you may hear me panting a bit because I always don't get comfortable when I use the mask, yeah? Because I have a little bit of asthma here. So talking about communication, that's the basics, yeah? But what are we going to learn? For this 12 weeks, I do have a bit of list here. So now people, what you can do is, all right, you can actually go to Teams. Okay, you go to, this is your page, yeah? This is your general page. You go here, you go under files, all right? This is just for your reference, yeah? Go under files. It's not coming. All right. I have this introductory, very simple one, just for us to follow. All right, for us to go through. What's basically this module all about? So the ones there, all right, you can actually go to your files and check them out. So, yeah. Well, this is me now. Of course, now we have Teams, you know, you can just send me a message over Teams. But let's say there is a need for you to send me a formal email. It can be a complaint, it can be a feedback, it can be any sort of messages that is quite formal, and you think I need to keep a record with it, then you can always send me an email. So this is my email. It's okay if you forget now. You can always go to AP Space and find my email there. All right, that's me. Now, so what are we basically going to achieve at end of this module? This whole communication skill. Or before that, yeah, I forgot to tell you, we are not going to have any lesson today. Yeah, this is only the introductory session, and you can see how much I'm talking nonstop. So imagine if I were to lecture you. Prepared. Be prepared for that. All right. Now, talking about what we are going to achieve at this end of this people, I'm going to move a bit. Yeah. At the end of this module are basically these three. Number one, practice pragmatics competence in a contextually appropriate fashion. Sounds very technical, isn't it? It's very simple. Just to teach you how to behave like a human with another human. Simple as that. Meaning, when you meet another person, all right? For instance, when you meet a person in a very formal context, very formal environment, how do you greet them? Do you simply just go and say, hey, Macha, how are you? You don't do that, right? Of course, you don't come to your teacher and say, hey, sis, how are you? You don't do that. So that is what we call pragmatics competence. Basically, during that particular particular environment, how are you supposed to communicate? How are you supposed to behave? That's what we call pragmatic competence. You don't go to your mom and say, "My dear, how are you doing today? Would you mind if I, leave an order for today's dinner?" Your mom will give you a tight slap. What's happened to you? All right? So this is what we call pragmatic competence. How we communicate at a certain moment, at a certain place, it has its own grammar. It has its own way. So we have to figure out, okay? For instance, let me just relate first, yeah? We received emails, okay? Hello. Salutation, hello. And then write whatever they are supposed to write. Towards the end, finish this for me as soon as possible. And that email is from a student. Sending to the lecturer and the head of school. So this shows there is no pragmatic skills. The student doesn't know how to actually communicate within the given context. So we will basically discuss about it. We will basically learn about it. Most of you, some of you, or all of you, we already know how to do it. So if you know how to do it, then we are basically going to enhance it. We're going to polish it a bit. All right? So that's number one. Number two, demonstrate written communication skills with clarity. Now, most of us, we are so comfortable with no writing stuff. And when you ask people, would you prefer to talk? Would you prefer to text? Or would you prefer to actually write an email? Can whatever. That's the answer we are getting. Can I send you the details via WhatsApp, Telegram? Or can I just send a voice note? All right, it's easy that way. So what happens, we're not going to blame on anything. What happens is that we are so used to it. We are so used to the current environment. We are so used to the technology. We're getting used to things. So what happens is that when it comes to the writing part, it's a bit lagging. I don't blame anyone for that. All right, maybe we don't see the importance of it. So we are basically going to tinkle a bit on that. We're going to just awaken the writing part of that. Very simple. You are going to have only two writing components throughout this module. One is going to be a very simple writing, report writing, and the other one is going to be a simple email writing. And that one we're going to do as a team. I'll come to those things later. All right, so that's about number two. Number three, join group discussion confidently. Okay, let's ask these people a bit. The ones here, and I'm going to pose the question to you as well. Yeah. Okay, now, okay, people, the one there, yeah, online. You see this thing, right? So, please raise your hand if you prefer to work individually. How many of you prefer individual work? Raise your hand, please. They will raise confidently, you know why? Because we are not going to know now. So they'll be like, yeah. Okay. How many of you prefer individual work rather than group work? Hey, don't look at others. How would they know? You're checking them and say, do you think I like individual work? And then, okay, I'll raise my hand. Come on, how many of you? None of you. All of you prefer group work. Fantastic. Okay, I'm still counting. I see numbers are going down. Okay. All right, fine. Now, the reason I asked because one of the surveys shows that the current generations, the one that currently coming to work, working environment and all that, they have a bit of issue to mingle with people. All right, they prefer to get work done on their own, or rather to work. They may be in one cluster, but you can see few separate clusters within that cluster. So that is the current issue. That is why people are trying to impose on group work. How can we do things together? How can we put things together? That is another problem that we are facing. And the other thing is, people are not seeking for help. They're very silent. Okay? So this is another issue as well. So how to rectify that is by actually learning to work in a group. Now, if you ask me personally, all right, way younger, I was like, okay, let me get into group work, all right? After a couple of bad experiences, I got a bit of phobia. I felt like no more group work, all right? Even if I were to put into group work, usually what I do is that I will go and get all the work done and then give it to my group mates. Then things pass, things years, semesters pass and all that. I noticed that is not healthy as well because I got into anxiety. Too many things, too much of things. And I noticed what I did wrong was basically I did not seek for help. I kept quiet. And I went into anxiety, depression. Of course, not the major level, but I started to get there. And I spoke to one of my professors. I told them, you see, this is what, then first thing my professor asked me, did you seek for help? I kept quiet because I have no answer for it. I know I did not. Then he asked me, what is the problem? I said, well, when I first joined, because I did my diploma, then I did my degree, then I went on to my master's, all right? So this happened during my diploma, before I get into my degree, all right? So that was very new to me, like you people, very newbies. You're doing foundation, I did my diploma, that's the difference. Newbie, and I didn't know how to handle things. It was a bit difficult for me back then, all right? So I thought what I was doing was right. So from group work, I was not able to handle. I jumped into individual work without seeking help. Too much of things on me, then I got into pressure. And then, somehow or other, I was lucky enough, I met my professor, all right? Then he told me, one thing he told me, group work is beautiful. And group work eventually will solve a lot of things and will give you a lot of encouragement, will give you a lot of energy. And it is one of the smartest ways to actually solve a problem. But of course, it depends what kind of group mates you're getting. It depends how often are you actually communicating with one another. How honest are you with your communication? How good are you with your communication? So that matters. So why am I sharing this with you is because I do not want the same incident to happen where you get stuck there. You do not know what to do. You seek for no help, or you just feel like not seeking help, and at the end of the day, you are in trouble. I don't want that to happen. Okay? So I'm going to tell you, for communication skills, this particular module, all your assessments are group work. Okay? It is group work, except one class test. Well, you have to do it on your own, unless you decide to pair up and, hey, let's group work. Students are very good at group work for this. Class tests, exams. They want to be in group work. They want to can I pair? Can I join? All right? So don't get into all this cheating or plagiarism and all that for class tests. Don't do that yet, people. All right? So you have 3 assessments altogether. I'll jump into that shortly after. But just to let you know, for COS, you are going to get group work. Okay? Group work, and you're going to find your group mates. Now, how do we go about your group mates? I'll figure out later. I'll tell you later. All right? But before that, are you with me so far? Surviving? Still alive? Okay, good. Let's figure out how are people over here. Thank you. Yes, Tina. I think it will be great if all members put in an effort to succeed. Okay, group work is better. How do we do group work online? That's how they have been doing it for the past 1 year. All right, I'll teach you how to do that. Let me show you. Yeah. Okay, I'll show you later. Because if I were to exit this, then it's a bit difficult for me. I'll show you later. Yes, correct. You don't have to go to any particular social, as in other social platforms. You can actually use Teams. I will help you to create the team in Teams later. Okay? Now, what you see here right now, this is your lecture group. Later on, I will create another group, which is your tutorial group. I suppose you have 4 tutorials altogether. Correct me if I'm wrong. I see 4 tutorials altogether. So what will happen is, you will be having, individually, you will be having 1 lecture group and 1 tutorial group. Okay? So during your tutorial class, you will be getting invitation from the tutorial class, as simple as that. And you will be having small little channels for you to do your work. So of course, you won't be able to see it now, later on. All right, later on I will show you, yeah? Okay, now moving on a bit. So yeah, lecture tutorial. I suppose you learn this in your other modules. Did the instructors tell you what is lecture, what is tutorial? Okay, now some say yes, some say no, but never mind. It's my duty to tell what's going to happen in my class. For COS, now people, you don't expect the same method. For instance, are you taking mathematics this semester? Are you taking English? PDSM? Business? Okay, assuming these are the modules, or IT module, one of the IT modules, yeah? The way they conduct the lecture, the way they conduct the whole session may be totally different from how we conduct. All right? Some of the days, you may not see me using this at all. I will just walk into the class, I'll give you a task to do, and maybe for about half an hour, and then we will take it from there. So I call that peer learning. Okay, we call that peer learning. So one of the days I may just come in. For instance, I feel like talking about, let's say, the importance of culture. All right, I may just walk in one day. I put you in groups. I give you the topic. I get you to brainstorm, and then I'll give you the time for us to actually discuss. If you see whatever that you're supposed to learn, the content will come from you actually. Okay? Let's say one of the days we feel like, okay, we have to learn presentation skills per se. I will come you, instead of running on the lecture first, I'll give you some text and I'll get you to do the practical work first. So once you're done with the practical work, then I'll get into the lecture. So don't expect me or the whole, week to have lecture slides on the screen and for me to stand here and teach you. No, we don't do that. And most of the time, we learn things through stories, games, from your side discussions. That's how we're going to learn things. So this module is going to be totally different. All right? There are not typical lecture slides where I will run through for 2 hours, and then even tutorial I'll run through another 2 hours. Typical, depending on the need. Like first 2 chapters, you can't run away from that. I have to teach you on the theories, on the basics. Then after that, we will work on practical. And most of the tutorials, take note, most of the tutorials, we will use it for revision. As in, when I use the word revision or discussion, for your assessment. I won't give you time to go do my work outside of my class. No. You will do all my work inside of my class, which means every week we're going to meet for 4 hours. 2 hours I'll take up for lecture. The remaining 2 hours of your tutorial, you will be basically doing your assessments, discussions, and I will keep track on you. Usually the first 6 weeks, you will be running on your discussion. Starting from week 6, 7, 8, 9, you will have your presentation. Okay, so there are a lot of things that you have to prepare for your assessment. And the reason I have decided to have your discussion during tutorial, because past years, many years back, I used to get this comment from students, whether they have given me genuine comments or not genuine comments, I'm not sure. They have kept on telling me, Miss, we are not getting the opportunity to meet our group mates. Once we are done with the class, it's very difficult to meet up with them. Once we are done with the session, it's very difficult to actually put them together to have the discussion, even before COVID. So what I've decided is fine. The purpose of tutorial is basically to have discussion. Then I will get you to run the discussion during the tutorial. So nothing is going wasted. And I will be part of the session as well. You get what I mean, people? So for this COS, that's how it's going to work. Your tutorials, most of the time, it will be used for our assessment discussion. Lecture, I will just do whatever justice that I'm supposed to do for the lecture. I hope it's clear here, yeah? All right? Other people, they do things differently. All right? Us, this is how we're going to function. Now, these are the assessments you have. Group assignment 1, group assignment 2, online test, or rather online quiz. Okay? Online quiz, there's nothing much for you to worry about or for you to scared of. No. It is just going to be a very, very simple testing of whatever that you have learned during the semester. And usually I will test on the basics, the ground, the very, very foundation. See if you still remember those things. And one thing with me, young people, please don't memorize things. There is no need for you to memorize. As long as if you've understood and you can actually apply that in your life, good enough. And I'm not the type of person where I will strive you to score full marks, A plus. I have never done that. I've never done that to my own people as well, but to my family members, to my nieces, nephews, cousins. I've never done that. One thing I ask them, do you understand what you're studying? If you tell me yes, then the A is yours. If you tell me I don't understand what I'm studying, but I've scored an A, that is something to be questioned on. You get what I mean? That's my simple philosophy. During my school time also, all right? I have never, maybe because my father was that way, all right? I never aimed for A, but usually whenever I learn, I ask myself, even I ask my teacher, Miss, why are we learning this? Can you tell me, because I don't understand. So once they give me proper explanation, I have failed my modules during my school times. And I have never regretted of that because I don't know. So I learned again. All right, I learned again, and then I understood, and I was like, oh, simple as this. Why did I struggle in the first place? The answer is, I never understood. So the same thing, yeah? Once you have understood, once you know how to apply this, no problem. So for class tests, I don't want to see these, yeah? Okay, teacher, next week class test, what am I supposed to study? What do I do? How many slides do I have to memorize? Forget about slides. Okay? Forget about slides. Like I said, you understood the whole concept, 100%, you will be able to answer. All right? So group assignment, what kind of assignments are we getting? Now let me tell you a bit. Talking about group assignment, you have one presentation, group presentation. All right? You're going to work as a team, you're going to present as a team. You're going to convert the whole presentation into a short report. Remember I told you, you will be attempting one report throughout the whole semester. There'll be one report that you have to write. This is going to be the report. So the whole presentation, you convert that into a report. Simple. That is going to be your assignment. Your class test, towards the end of the semester, you will have your class test. So this is about 20%. Class test is 20%. Your presentation is 40%. Your report is 40%. Finish. That's how I'm going to evaluate you. Okay? All right? Now, then you question me, Miss, we're going to learn so many things. We're going to learn all this. How are we going to actually embed this into the evaluation? How are we getting evaluated, basically? Now, you people, you see, when you're talking about assessment, you are not supposed to look into that particular component. You're supposed to look into the whole process. When we talk about presentation, before you attempt that presentation, you have to get into a lot of things. You have to understand communication, how to communicate with people. You have to understand, you already know, you enhance it, yeah? Communication barriers. What are the issues we have? Why are we not able to actually interact with people? Or why am I not able to actually communicate? Why am I not able to actually be part of the team? What is the issue you identify? Intercultural communication. We have people of different cultures. How do we mingle with them? How do we get used to them? How do we be part of the team? You have to know. Because one of the issues we have when it comes to group work is the difference in culture. You do not know how to mingle. Now, intercultural communication is one of the most interesting topics. All right, it's very beautiful. All right, I'm not gonna talk much about it now. Later part, yeah. Meeting skills. You're gonna learn how to take minutes. All right, so you have to meet your group mates. You have to discuss with them. You must know how to handle the meeting. So you go through that meeting skills. So you see, you go through a lot of steps before you get into your presentation skill. You learn a lot of things. You have to go through this. So you yourself will know, oh, I'm ready for this. Then you jump into presentation skill. Sometimes we may, change a bit the text, the sequence of it, depending, yeah. But one thing for sure, whenever you learn each chapter, whenever you go through each chapter, you try to understand the gist of it, the core of it. If you understand the core, then that's fine. Yeah? Moving on, correspondence now. Correspondence, I'm not going to be, how do I say, sitting there 2 hours and then I'm going to teach you, okay, draw this line, put this number, do this, do that. No, we're not going to do that. Okay? We're going to do practical activities. Yeah? When you're talking about telephone communication, you are going to make phone calls, live phone calls to people. And we're going to evaluate you through live. Meaning you're going to stand here or on call, depends, whichever. You're going to make the phone call, and all of us are going to evaluate your phone call live. So we're going to learn from that. And whom you're going to call, don't call the police, don't call the ambulance, hospitals, no. You're going to call the telco companies. You'll call the customer service officers, and we're going to talk from them. All right? So don't worry, they don't charge you. And then don't tell them also, hey, you know what, usually they will tell you, right? This call has been recorded for, improvement purpose or something. You don't tell them, my teacher is recording this call for our evaluation purpose. All right, don't do that. So, well, report writing. It's going to be a simple one. So, some of the chapters, we don't use slides. We don't go through slides. We do them physically, practically. For instance, report writing. I'll spend the whole week with you to teach you on how to construct a report. You do it physically, you learn it from there. You don't have a typical theories to do the report, no. You're just going to learn from your work, your practical work. All right, people? So these are the chapters. Okay, now, online, are you okay so far? And I'm so sorry if you're talking, not able to hear. Okay, thank you. Okay, good. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, fine. Moving on. Okay. We have talked about modules. So far, you okay with the modules? We have 8 chapters altogether. We have 3 assessments, 2 group assignments, 1 class test. Both the assessments you do with your teammates. One is presentation, one is report. Whatever presentation you're doing, you convert them into a report. 40%, 40%. Simple as that. Okay? Done and over with the module. Now, after all, we are human beings, right? We do have emotions. We do have our anger moments, our funny moments, our romantic moments, and all these moments are very important. And classroom, I look at classroom as one of the beautiful places, right? Because no matter what feelings you have, when you come to classroom, you put everything aside, and you see your nice friends, colleagues, you mingle with them. Okay? You don't like to see their faces. Now you see, even better, they're covering all their faces. Okay? So good for you, good for your friends. So what are the few things to put in place? No, don't be late. You know what is the most funniest thing? Sometimes online, teacher, I'm sorry I'm late. And this was one of the most genuine excuse I got from my student. I'm so sorry, teacher, I had to go to the loo. He has to go to the washroom, toilet. And he told me, that's why I was late. I was okay. Because all you can do is you can just turn it on, at least make yourself available, and then go to the loo and come back, or bring the phone with you, go to the loo and come. All right, but he was very genuine. He told me, I'm late. I was late because of this, teacher. I said, okay, fine, thank you. We don't have those kind of genuine cases. Yeah. Now, don't be late as in I understand. Sometimes we do have our unforeseen situations, circumstances where we literally can't join the session on time. Those kind of cases I'm fine. Okay? Now, why I'm bringing this up because attendance. Now, with me, I'm not stingy with attendance because I'm going to treat you like an adult. All right? I'm going to put the responsibility on you. You are responsible for your actions. All right? By me not giving attendance, by me giving attendance, it's not going to make any difference on me. But you should know. You should own the attendance genuinely. You should own the attendance with the effort, right? So don't bug me for attendance. What I will do is, like you say earlier, 9 o'clock sharp, I have turned on the attendance, right? Before I end the session, I will turn on the attendance as well. So you don't come in between of the lesson, teacher attendance, teacher attendance, teacher attendance. Don't do that. I don't want. Okay? I'm not stingy with attendance. Okay? So once in the beginning, I'll mark the attendance. Before I close the session, in case sometimes we'll get 100% attendance, meaning I don't have to do it again. Sometimes we do get 20% or 30% of them are not here. So what I usually will do is I will mark the attendance towards the end. So if possible, try not to be late and don't bug for attendance in between. I will give you the attendance. All right, that's number one. Number two, why I usually don't like being late, because especially not for me but for your group members, when you are in the midst of group work, especially during tutorial, they would have started their discussion. Some of them come in at 20 minutes late, 15 minutes late. That is literally going to impact your friend. So what you do, in case you know in advance that you're going to be late, just inform your friends. Hey buddy, you know what? I'm going to be late. I'm going to be late by 10 minutes, 15 minutes. Please proceed. I will come and join the session. Be a little responsible and respect your friends. For me, that's a piece of respect. Right? When you can't make it or you will be late, at least tell us. We won't be like, okay, where is this person? You get what I mean, people? So that's a bit of courtesy, a bit of mannerism. So if you're going to be late, just inform your colleague, inform your friend, hey, you know what, I'm going to be late, just wait for me or proceed with the work. I'll come and join and I'll come and just repair whatever I'm supposed to repair later on. Alright? So don't be late. And this is a reason, not for anything, this is a reason, very simple reason. People's time matters. Yeah? Number two, excuses. Now come up with nice excuses now. Don't kill your grandparents many times. Alright? Tired of it already. Okay? Don't kill your dog many times. Don't put your dog in vaccination many times. Alright? Don't let your dog to eat your work. Now even better. The water spilled already, teacher. On what? The laptop. My phone, teacher, I brought it to the washroom. It broke. It went into the tap or something. So come up with nice, interesting excuses so that we will believe you. Come on, I was in your stage as well. I know how you feel. Or I've done whatever that you've done as well. Okay? So it's okay. Very simple. I prefer honest answers rather than give me excuses, because I'm not going to scold you. There is nothing for me to scold you unless you make me angry. That's different. Okay? Now, yesterday, one student approached me. Okay? He missed his class test 30% for his public speaking. And I checked, once all of them are done with their class test, I checked, his name was absent. Correct? With another friend of his. Two people absent. So this girl, she immediately contacted me. She told me what is the reason she was absent for the class test. Some family issues, unforeseen, not able to. She provided me some evidence. Then I said, okay, fine, no problem. I let the girl to do the class test immediately. See, nothing wrong, right? This gentleman, he came to me. He said he didn't know about the class test. Then I asked him, how come? That's right, teacher, I also don't know. Oh, you don't know about the classes? Because you also don't know why you don't know about the class test. Yeah. I think you didn't mention that during the class. This one, you will make Miss Jahan to, like Dragon Ball, the fire. I will just throw fires everywhere then. Okay? So I asked him, how come you don't know? How come you can say that Miss Jahan didn't tell? Teacher, I think, I don't know. Did you attend the classes? I attend all the classes. Now Miss Jahan will be your investigator already. Special force. So what I did, this is where you're making a teacher to get really angry. So I went back to my recording. I cut the part where I mentioned about what time to what time is your class test, when is your class test, how many questions, blah, 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 with the screenshot, because I have also typed in. So I sent to the student. I say, so where is the evidence now? Orally mentioned, yes. Written, yes. So 2 times already. Mentioned in the lecture, mentioned in the tutorial. So how do we go about this now? Right. If you were to be in my position, wouldn't you get angry? Wouldn't you get disappointed? Rather than get angry, I got very disappointed. I was very sad. So I told the student, I give you 24 hours. You tell me what is the situation, what happened, what went wrong where. So our friend didn't take 24 hours. He only took about 10 minutes. He rang me, he said, "Teacher, I'm so sorry, I didn't revise. So I was not ready for the paper. I'm so sorry," and I was a bit nervous. I was scared, so I was not ready to confront you. So that's why I say that please, please forgive me. So this is what I'm saying. If you're not ready, if you need time, okay, don't come up with excuses. Tell. I'm here to listen. Alright? Nothing is going to go wrong if I give you one hour extra. Nothing is going to go wrong if I give you 1 day extra. But of course I will look into what is your problem. Alright? So nothing is going to go wrong, nothing is going to collapse. Talk. Ask. Tell me. Tell your friends. If you can't do certain work, tell your friends, hey, you know what, I can't do this. Can you help me? Or can you give me a bit of time? Ask, do, tell. Don't make people to come after you. Don't make people to bug you. How do I say? Don't evoke the anger in people. Don't evoke the disappointment in people. So stop coming up with excuses and tell us the exact situation. That is much more appreciated and more professional. Young people. So the excuse I told, the example I gave you was this very recent example. Very, very recent example. So I don't want that. Yeah? Discrimination. Yeah. The jokes apart. The joke's fine. You know, you wanna play with your buddy, you wanna crack joke, you wanna use your own language to play around with them, and all those things are fine. But I don't encourage discrimination in my class. Okay, let it be any form of discrimination. Things like, for instance, you have like 86 of them. Maybe 1 or 2 come up with a very weird, a very unique answer. Suddenly, all of you like, oh, boo, or do some sort of expressions that actually demotivate the person. Don't do that, because people, you wouldn't know how the person feel, how much of encouragement the person has collected to actually throw the answer. Some of you may be very proactive, huh? Some of you may be very good with your language. Some of you may be very good with your communication skills. Some of you are very confident. By the time you were born as a baby, you already open your mouth and say, "Mommy, could you please give me some milk?" Maybe you're that active, that good. Some of them are still crawling. So you have to understand, all of us not the same. So your encouragement is very much needed rather than your discouragement. If your friend is very slow, you figure out whether the person is lazy or really that is his attitude. What is it? Figure out first. Don't judge first. Some of you may be very active. You can work 24/7. Some of you may not. You just work within that 5 hours. So this module, okay, rather than taking it as a module, look at it as a skill. It's an opportunity for you to learn about people. Let's just look around, experiment things. So make use of this module to experiment, to experience things. You will then love this module. You will then like this module. Each and every activity, when you conduct the group work, next week you're going to conduct the group work, you try to see, oh, why X is behaving like this? Why Y is behaving like this? I noticed X behavior this 2 weeks is like this. Y behavior this 2 weeks is like this. Now, did I say something wrong? What happened? Why when this work is given? If you need, try to do the experiment and see. Try to be neutral. Try to avoid prejudgment. Try to avoid discouragement. Okay? Try to be neutral first. Try to look at this world in a neutral way and learn to communicate first. Don't have any prejudgment here. Okay? I'll tell you a story later. Okay. And this one, come on people. We're already covering our face half. On top of that, don't have all your, this mood swings. Okay, we're going to meet only for a few hours. Even that few hours also, sour face means not nice. Alright? So, just be lively as possible, but don't overdo. Yeah? You can see this in car mirrors, huh? The side mirrors. Okay, warning the objects are actually closer than you see or something like that. You can see this kind of warnings there. So due dates are closer than they appear. Never mind, Mr. Han said week 6 only what? It's only week 1. You blink your eye, week 5 already. Teacher, are you serious? Next week is present. Are you sure? You want to check your calendar? You really want to look into, you want to reconsider? Don't ask me all this. So once you get your due date, once you know this is your due date, make sure you get it ready. You understand, people? Alright? You follow up with your due date. And there is another word for it. Have you heard this word before? DEADLINE? Deadline versus dateline, DATELINE. There is difference. You're dead if you don't finish the work. That's what we call deadline. Deadline is basically, DATE is basically indicating the date. So deadline, you have to track. Yeah? Share some moments in class, some epic moments. This is a very common question. Miss, I was absent from your class yesterday. Did I miss anything important? No. We was just checking out, hanging out, figuring out, oh, why this person is absent. What could be the reason? Let's do a thesis. Okay, don't stop asking this question. Did I miss anything? As though we have no other better work to do. Sitting there and like doing nothing. Yeah? So people, the moment you miss the class, there must be something. It can be a simple discussion. It can be a simple work. But still you miss something. Whatever you miss is important. So instead of asking this question, all right, quickly go and ask your friend, hey, did I miss anything? What is that? What you guys did. Is there anything that I have to submit? Quick check with your friend. Now that you have your WhatsApp, your Telegram, your Teams and everything, it's easy for you to communicate. It's not that it takes years, takes, hours for you to communicate with your friend. Yeah? But this has changed now. It's no longer asking you guys to keep quiet. It's like talk. Alright, I remember when having my physical class, by the time I move from that end to that end, one will be jumping there, one will be screaming here, one will be shouting there, one will be simply calling my name for no reason, Mr. Han, and then he will sit down. When I turn around, they'll be nothing, I'm simply checking. Alright? So I have to keep on a quiet, class quiet. I miss saying that. Now I have a class talk. Alright? So I miss that moment actually. Even now, you see, our chat. Let's check. 86 of us, about 30 of you are here. Okay? You can't see the slides, Dinesh. How come? Alright, now even simple thing. Could you please raise your hand? Out of 80, only 10 is raising. That heavy, for you to take your finger, touch on the button is so heavy. That kind of participation also I'm not getting. The slides aren't showing. Are you sure? Because I shared the master. How come? Because you see, I'm sharing the master slide, master page. Because I'm sharing this screen. So when I share the screen, you would be able to see this, the whole thing. Oh my goodness. People, I'm sharing this screen, so you should be able to view. Okay, wave one is there. Wave one is guiding them a bit, I think. People, Okay, those who are there, I suppose you can see it, yeah, not a problem. Because I'm sharing the screen, so shouldn't be a problem. Thank you. So, talking about moments in class, all right? This is another thing. You would have finished explaining everything. There will be one or two glitches from the other end, all right? What to do? You would have finished like the whole half an hour to 45 minutes explaining all the 10, 15 steps from A to B to C and everything. You will have one or two from there. Teacher, what are we supposed to do, huh? Can I watch the recording later? It's okay, teacher. I will ask from my friend. You know how you feel at that moment? You feel like punching their face, Right? You spend so much time, you will ask in between, are you with me? Do you understand? Do you have a question? Okay, do you need me to explain some more? Or you will ask all sort of questions. No, all okay. Towards the end, before you call off the class. Teacher, what are we supposed to do again? Stop asking that people. Come on. If you have a question, then just raise the question while the presentation is going on with me. All right? Or I will give you the Q&A session. Then you ask the question. Don't let yourself be in this situation. Don't put us in this difficult situation. All right? Now, yes. Before I'm gonna call off this, yeah. Remember, young people, I always tell my students because these are the frequent feedbacks that I've gotten. Miss, it's not that I am arrogant. It's not that I am not friendly. The one reason why I am not talking, why I am not participating, because I feel like I'm not good with this language. I am not good with this confidence. I'm not confident enough. Now, people remember, yeah? Language is just a tool. It is just a tool, all right? You may not be good at this particular X language, but you may be an expert with other languages. You may not be good with this particular skill. You may be expert in another skill, okay? So all of us are here to actually learn. So don't be afraid of language. If you don't try now, when are you going to try? You can't be doing this in your maths class. You can't be doing this activity in your physics class or any other classes. This is the only class where you can actually practice your language, practice your skill. You get what I mean, enough people. So don't waste this class. Don't waste this 12 weeks. There is no such thing as I'm not good at language. Speak. If you don't speak, then you won't be able to try. Yeah? You understand what I'm saying? Start with simple lines. It's okay. I started to speak English when I was almost 16 years old. That's when I actually started to speak in English because English is not my first language. Okay, so I understand. Yeah, some of you maybe you started to speak English from very young age, from day one. You started to speak in English. Some of us we are not like that. English is not our first language. It can be even our third language. So remember, yeah, everything is just a skill. You practice, you enhance. All of us are beginners, even I myself. Are you with me so far? Okay. So talking about this module, that's about it. That's basically about this module. What I wanted to tell you about this module. Now going back here, the online people. All right, still alive, good. So I pass the mic, I pass the floor to you. Question from the floor. Let me recap before I make you to ask me a question. I talked about this module. I told you how many chapters are in here. I told you what are the assessments we have with the percentage. I told you a little bit background, a bit of technical stuff. How are we basically going to run through this whole course, COS, for this 12 weeks? And yeah, that's about it. Yeah, that's about it. And I told you why this module, why this subject. It's all about enhancing your skill. Yeah, enhancing your skill. And I also told you about the learning objective, why we are taking up this module basically. So from my end, this is what I have to say. I have to introduce to you about this module. Okay? So let's pause this. Let's change the mirror. You ask me the question. I pass the mic to you, as in I pass the floor to you. Any question, clarification. Even those online, question, clarification, it can be regarding this module, pertaining me, pertaining the module, anything. Let's have a open Q&A or discussion session. Come on. Anyone? It can be anything, anything pertaining the module, pertaining me, pertaining the school, anything. Oh, since it's here, so yeah. Okay. Yes, please. Okay. You mean the class test? For this module or generally? For this module, you have no exam. You have only class test, online quiz, online test. All right. Now, okay, let me tell a little bit about your class test. Yeah, your class test is 20%. It consists of multiple choice questions, 10 multiple choice questions. Yeah, you have like A, B, C, D. All right. You have 10 questions like that, and you will be given 1 hour to answer the question online. All right. We all of us, all right, we will set one date for your class test. And usually your class test is after your week 12. Once you're done with your week, all right, either on week 12 or right after your week 12, your online class test. No exam for this module. All right, remember, yeah? Class test, multiple choice questions, 20% with 10 questions. That's it. Either on week 12 or just right after your week 12. Did I answer your question? Okay, good. How is your day, miss? Okay. Okay, good. My day is good. Okay, thank you so much. Okay. It isn't a question really, but I do not think I have been added to a tutorial group. Just to let you know, I did not create the group yet. So definitely, yeah. Thank you. Yes. Madam, will the class test be part of the GPA? Grade point average is asking. Yeah. Yes. Because it is part of your module. 20%. So 40% group project 1, 40% group project 2, 20% class test. Yes, definitely. Good to know. Good to know. Okay, I don't know what is good to know here, but yeah, nice to know as well. Okay. Madam, for the tutorial class, it says location is B55. So which floor is this? Floor 5. If it's a 5, then it's 5. Okay. If let's say it says B65, then how? Okay, come on, because if it's a B65? Yes, thank you. It's 6th floor. All right. Okay, nice. And okay, anything else from here? Yes, please. Okay, I'll answer that. And do you have any tips to practice speaking, communicating from experience apart from socializing? Observation. Have you ever observed before? Not staring at people, no? Staring is different, observing is different, don't like? What are you doing? I'm observing. That's creepy. Okay? Now, I always thank whoever is Asfar. Okay. As for the question, the answer is observing, Asfar. Observation. Experience, because you see, a part of socializing. So the question is, instead of me communicating with people, what else I can do actually to enhance my skill? It's absolutely through observation. You observe when people communicate. That's what I mentioned in the beginning, remember? I say, when you are with your group mates, learn, experience from it. Okay, that's what we call observation. When someone, now you see, we always get inspiration from people, even the one who is sitting beside us. Why is that sometimes when certain people talk, we really feel like, hey, nice la the way he talks. Hey, nice la the way he dressed up today. Hey, nice la the hairstyle, inspiration, observation. So you can learn, you can enhance your skill through observation. When someone speaks good English, when someone speaks good Mandarin, when someone speaks good Arabic, listen, observe. Oh, this person is talking like this. Wow, that's nice. How? Observe. All right? When someone is doing presentation, why is that the way he's doing presentation is so simple? What technique he uses? Observe. He makes things simple. He put his point simple. He engaged with people. You see? They learn from it. So Asfar, did I answer your question, Asfar? Let's pronounce his name. Asfar Niburas Khan. You went offline already? Okay, good. So, before I answer the question, your friend over here, she asked, how many members are there in a group? Okay, that depends on number of people you're going to have in your tutorial. Usually, I prefer 5 people in a group because standard, not too much, all right? But let's say you have many members, you have quite a lot in the tutorial group, then we may need to extend to 6. Sometimes we go 7, but I try to break the group because 7 is just too much. It's like a small group already. So that's too much. So 5 or 6, just nice. Yeah? How long is the presentation going to be for the test? How am I supposed to answer this question? Madam, what language do you love the most? Now, I do not know how to answer that question. How long is the presentation going to be for the test? Seriously, I'm confused. Anyone going to help me with this? Yes. Present what? Then why the word test is there? My interpreter is here. Okay, Tong Cheng Hao. Cheng Hao, are you asking how long is the time for presentation, is it? Or what is the duration for the class test? Which one? Cheng Hao? Okay. So for the test or for the presentation, I have to ask you. Cheng Hao, for the presentation or test? Okay. All right. Do you remember how long, what is the duration? 1 hour, yes. 60 minutes, 1 hour. Okay, 1 hour for the test. Okay, but usually I will give you extra 15 minutes because sometimes you foresee technical problems. That's the time you want to log in, suddenly your server is down. That's the time you want to turn on your computer, sometimes your cable will just have issues and not able to get to the charger and all that. So I'll give you extra 15 minutes. So 1 hour, 15 minutes. All right? Okay, good. And madam, what language do you love the most? Any language that I can speak fluently. I love them. The language that I can't speak fluently, so I don't love them. No, not that way. Anything that I can actually connect with my students, connect with my people. Simple. If let's say Bahasa, for instance, you can understand Bahasa and that's the language that you can actually connect with me, then fine. And I speak Tamil actually. So yeah, so if you think Tamil is the language you can connect with me, fine. And I do speak a bit of Mandarin here and there. So, yeah, these are the languages I can speak a bit here and there. Yeah? Okay. Why this people ask? Usually you will put presentation slide in the model before the class or after the class. Miss, do the physical students get jealous when you give us more attention? What other languages other than English can you speak? I think they are hearing me a bit. Or are we lagging or what? I just okay now. Oh my, I don't know why he's reacting. Okay, I'll get back to you on that. Okay, now pertaining your what do you call that, slides? Okay, it's here, yeah. Now you have seen your app space, right? AP space or web space, whatever you call it, and you see this thing, communication skill 042021. Okay, that's your intake. You click on that, and there you go. It's there. Okay, but I've already put a description there. Hi, folks. You can use this as a point of reference for COS module. This is not the sole content to be relied on. Do follow the lessons conducted closely, as most of the content for this module will be in the form of discussion, activities, and games. Simple. The slides are ever ready, so whether before or after doesn't matter. Yeah, the ticket folder is there. Whoever asked the question, you forgot already. So all you have to do is go here, click on this, and you will have the material there. But like I say, people, I'm repeating myself. Don't rely on this solely. This is just a point of reference. Whatever we are going to discuss in the class, the discussion is important. All right? Coming back here. So, Jawan, I suppose that answered your question, yeah? Okay. Miss, do the physical guys, do you get jealous? I don't know. I'm giving equal attention, right? Yeah. But I feel pity for these people actually. The ones from the screen here. Okay. Shweta, ma'am, are we given time to prepare before the discussion forum? Will you let us know the topic in advance, or spontaneously we should think and come up with points? Well, that depends on my mood. All right. Now, if I think, sometimes that's how I work. I'll be like, do I give them spontaneous work or do I tell them advance? Sometimes when I tell you in advance, you don't do your work. You still come to me and say, teacher, you know what? Huh? I really wanted to try this, but then suddenly I got my headache. And then I decided to take a bit of rest. But then I played this online game last night now, And then you'll come and then you say, teacher, you know what? Suddenly I forgot to pay my bill. So I cannot get access to my internet. So to answer your question straight now, Rifat Ahmad Khan, I'm so sad. He said he's sad that he can't meet this class basically. All right. Now, inshallah, we'll be meeting soon. Don't worry. Now, talking about attention. Talking about classwork, yeah. Most of the time, it will be spontaneous. Yeah, spontaneous meaning I won't let you go. Just like, okay, this is a work, check on you, and then go. No, I won't do that. All right, I'll give you time in class. Out of the 2 hours, the first 1 hour, usually I'll give it to you for tutorials, especially when you have group work to do. The first 1 hour, you will do your work on your own. Then after that, I'll spend the 1 hour to check on your work, to see whether you have progressed, not progressed, then I'll give you constructive feedbacks and whatnot. So that's what's going to happen. Yeah? So are we getting more questions? The count of 1, 2, 3, anyone? More questions from the floor? Anyone? Thank you. All right. So question from the floor. Anyone? Yes, no? Looks like no for the moment. Oh, yes, please. Which one? Class test? Yes, 20%. 20%. They will be graded. Your class, and they will be added to your GPE. Hmm? No, your class test will be online. Home assignments meaning? Oh, you mean, okay, take homework, is it? Okay, now, okay, the ones online, your friend is asking, are we going to have a homework sort of thing, right? Okay, I don't usually give homework, all right? Because I have no time to mark your book, seriously, and I think I've grown enough from the homework thing, but when you will feel the pressure is when you're not able to finish it in the class. Okay, you'll be given 2 hours. Easily 40 minutes, 45 minutes will be given to you to do the work. If let's say you can't finish the work, that's where you have to bring it back and complete it. And usually I will have a file in your general chat, in your general box here. I will usually have a file. Now what you have to do is you just have to upload your works here. Like this, you will have like folders. So, for instance, next week we are going to have one activity. I will create a folder here. So let's say we have like 5 groups in one tutorial. So I'll give you a deadline. So within that deadline, you finish the work and you upload it here. Okay, and now let me tell you honestly, your work will not be graded. Your class activities, I have to just tell you honestly, your class activities, I will not sit and grade, but I will go through. During the class, I will go through with you. Now, what will happen when I go through the work with you is that you can improvise. You can learn from it. So if you ask me, Miss, whatever class activities you're giving us, will those marks be added to my assessment? No. Let me make that very clear. Those works are basically to give you practice. It's part of your activity, class activity. You have to do it. Don't do the work just because you have marks. It's not going to work that way. Okay, people? So no question from my class. Miss, are you going to give us marks? No. For class activities, no marks. Okay, but I will sit and go through with you what you're supposed to do, where you have done wrong, where you have done right, and those sort of things. Yeah? Okay. I think somebody messaged. Huh? No surprise test all. I will get surprise. No surprise test, no test for every topic, no. I don't do that. I don't like that kind of pressure. Alright? Like I said, I'm very open. As long as you understand the module, I'm happy. As long as you can implement this in your daily life, I'm happy. That's it. Class test will be just towards the end of the semester. Only one class test, and you will be told the date, the time, and everything. Then once done, then you're done. There is no surprise test. There is no surprise, no. Okay? How many of you can handle surprise here? How many of you good at giving surprises? Anyone? Jamil said very good at giving surprise. I think the online students are more active. So people, how many of you can handle surprise? If someone gives you surprise, you can like, oh, or you get very overwhelmed, you get emotional. Respond, people. Respond. I am surprised now. I'm very surprised with your reactions. Okay, let's entertain a bit on the online side. Okay, me love surprise, me. Okay, kind of surprise, okay. Is class discussion inclusive of class activities? Yes. Yes. Sreta? Whatever, it is a name, class activities inclusive of test, sorry, not test, discussions, games, and all those things. All right? Only happy surprises. I don't like any. All right. Some people, they ruin the surprise. You want to surprise someone, okay, you prepare all sort of things. For instance, a birthday surprise or something. They do not know how to handle it. They ruin the whole thing and they disappoint you. at the end. So I have faced that many times. Okay, so don't worry, I won't give you any surprise. Yeah, even happy surprise also no. Maybe things like, okay, tomorrow's class cancel. Those kind of happy surprises maybe. Okay. All right. Now, before we call off, one last call. Question. Question from this side? No? Good so far? This side? Are we good? Okay. This side? So far good? All right. Those online? Are we good to go? No questions, yeah? Okay, good. Thank you. Before I call off this session, let me tell you, young people, please take note, yeah? Everyone take note. Two things. Number one, there are instances where we don't have to make use of all the 2 hours physically in the class. That's first instances, because it's always coming back to what we are learning on that day. Instance number two, or things number two is, in order to keep the class happy, in order to keep the class going, because I understand you may be tired due to some reasons. Okay, you may be tired. Every one of us, we do have our activities, different activities, all right? And we do have different concentration span time. Some of them can sit fresh like that for 2 hours, but nothing goes inside their head. Okay, we have to wake them up. Hello? Then like, oh, I'm here, teacher, I'm here. I was just thinking about you just said something just now. What you were saying for the past 2 hours? All right? We do have cases like that. We do have cases where they on and off. They 5 minutes they stay awake, and then 2 minutes they'll be like, oh, what she's talking about. And then 5 minutes, oh, such a great content. And then 2 minutes, oh, when she's going to finish. Then another 5 minutes they'll be like, wow, such interesting. And after it goes off. Many types of people. This is because the concentration span, it differs from people. Some of them I get scared because from the beginning of the class towards the end, they will just keep staring at me. Okay, and I'll be like, what's wrong? Okay, and I'll be like, okay, now I let them be in their own comfort zone. Okay, so some of them, they will have questions in their mind. A lot of questions going on, unnecessary questions. Now, whenever you have that kind of questions, write them down on a piece of paper, clear your mind. Don't clock everything inside your head. Don't do that. Okay? Some of them, I don't know why they'll be smiling throughout the class. I also be like, okay, such a happy child. Okay, smile, keep on smiling. Some, they'll be open their eyes wide awake, and then suddenly they stare elsewhere. And then suddenly they stare at me. Then suddenly they stare at their phone. So we do have different kinds of reactions and peoples. All right, in this class, in this whole environment. So don't worry if you're tired, I understand. If you think you need a bit of rest, okay, you can always quickly take a quick rest. Meaning, you can just excuse yourself for a while, go outside, take a deep breath, take about a couple of brain break, come in. I'm absolutely fine with it. You don't urge your pee, don't urge your washroom breaks and all that. You want to pee means you're no more children, huh? You don't have to come to me, teacher, can I go to the toilet? You don't have to do that. Excuse yourself, all right? But of course, don't go with partners. Don't go with, you want to pee means you pee alone. You want to join? You want to join? You go as a team. Suddenly I say, why are you doing this? No, teacher, I need company. All right? Don't do that. Now COVID sessions are more. All right? You have to follow the SOP. Even you bring your friend also, they have to keep a 1 meter distance. All right? So you want to go to washroom, you go on your own. If you do not know where's the washroom, step out, ask people where's the washroom. You don't have to come to me and tell me. Answering phone calls, don't shout in my class. Take the phone, go outside, screenshot whatever you want to do and then come back. All right? So I'm very flexible. As long as you respect the ground rule. All right? Simple. Give respect, take respect, and I'm fine with it. If I think, like today, I don't have to give you a break because I'm not teaching you anything. I'm just giving you information. I'm just introducing you about the lesson. So I don't give any break in between. Usually, for normal class, I give break. I do give about 10 minutes break. Fine enough. All right? But you don't take your own break. Yeah? After 10 minutes, you extend another 10 minutes. All right? Don't do all this. Eventually, you'll get used to things. So like I said, people, in order to keep the bonding, in order to make the class happening and live and active, I can do only a certain percentage. The rest of it has to come from you. Okay? All right? So I believe there is no question from online class and the physical class. Therefore, we call off the session by 10:30 now. All right? And I'll see you guys when I see you next. Have a good day, have a good weekend, and stay safe. All right? All right. See you then. Bye, people. I'm going to call off the recording now. Goodbye. Thank you, everyone. Goodbye. So I'm going to off the recording. See you, yeah?